Jane.
And I'm Grace. We are the co-founders of Room2Learn. Learning has changed, classrooms haven't.
We're a sharing platform and an affordable design consultancy that tailors school spaces to learning needs.
So I just want to talk about your guys' background first.
Sure. I am coming from a very progressive public middle school in Brooklyn. The space became a huge barrier for us, so we were still working within these four walls, the confines of having 30 kids in a room, cramped in there, and the rest I will allow Jane to explain how we met.
So I'm currently finishing up my master's at the Harvard Graduate School of Design, and I've been there for almost 2 years now. So previously I was doing environmental planning and urban planning and sort of thinking about space at a large urban territorial scale. And last year when I started my master's, I had come in with this idea about online learning, and I had taken a few online courses before and was trying to figure out why they didn't work out for me. And I realized the two main factors were space and community.
I want to talk about Room2Learn has two different branches of what they do. They have the sharing platform part of what they do and then also a consultancy aspect. So if you guys could explain to people a little bit about the two different parts of what you all do.
Sure. So we started out with a sharing platform, and the idea was really to build some kind of digital infrastructure where educators could communicate across schools, across geographies, and share some of the ideas that they implemented in their classroom. We wanted to simulate that kind of natural convening and talking about space and having that lead into conversations about learning and community.
Design is so much more than aesthetic, and we have a fear of putting pictures online. People say, I want that, without understanding the intent. So we're really trying to build the infrastructure to be, this is the problem that I'm facing, here's how I use my materials to meet this need.
And as a result of that, we had a few schools reach out to us kind of asking for more hands-on, in-person work with them. And so that's when we started to work with schools one-on-one on redesign as well as teacher training.
I want to talk a little bit about, because you guys are really focused too on the design aspect.
Right.
So can you talk a little bit more about, for especially people who don't know as much about design, how that impacts learning?
So the way I like to think about design and what's around you is it's not about, as much as people think, it's about the furniture and the colors and all that. I think that sort of comes after. So when you think about learning, you think about what is it in terms of content and how you're engaging with the material. As well as how you're engaging with each other.
Like I said, the ideal would be that you understand what you're learning or doing and then build the environment to meet that need.
The focus is on the students and the educators and how people are interacting, and then how do you build sort of the infrastructure around that. And we realize that as educators are shifting towards new paradigms and pedagogies of teaching, that the way they interact with students is changing too, and their space isn't working for them. So students, it's very hard for students to learn collaboration, for example, and when every student's looking at the back of another student's head.
All of these different skills and learnings require different spaces, and I'd argue that right now our cookie cutter boxes don't meet that need.
Since Room2Learn is all about spatial design, we want to mix up the background and move to another location. I want to talk a little bit about why you guys are so passionate about this problem specifically. It's really cool that you obviously both have backgrounds in both education and design, so if you guys could talk a little bit about why this problem really kind of struck important for you.
I am very excited because I think that we are experiencing a time of rapid change in schools. We are preparing students for jobs that we don't even know what they will be or look like. I think that that's leading to major shifts in the way we teach. I'm a teacher, so that's the lens that I come from, and especially the way that we learn and the science behind the way that we learn. I think that all students deserve exactly the sort of environment that meets their needs feels and functions like it's built for students, when too often our schools, especially our media schools, look a bit like prisons, to be honest. And I think that is something that is unjust.
It's a great segue what you're saying. Even in past videos you can see the different innovation centers I've gone to. I mean, talk about like spatial design. It's so perfect example. Like Harvard Innovation Lab, MIT Trust Center for Innovation. I'm about to go to Tufts this weekend. Those spaces are set up how they are for a reason. That's perfect for collaboration, problem solving with teams, and that's the perfect example what you're saying. So, you know, if we're doing it for innovation labs and startups and people like this, why aren't we doing it for kids who are in the education system and middle schoolers and high schoolers and people who are in such transformative years of their life? Wrapping up here with Room2Learn and Grace and Jane, but if you want to learn more about what they're doing, go to room2learn.org, or you can follow them on their social channels, Room2Learn on Facebook or @HackClassrooms on Twitter.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.